Hello everybody. So today is still busy this weekend, so I'm making a reduced video. Today I want to talk about buy now, pay later, and how this, in my view, could create quite a bit of value for PayPal. So I've discussed buy now, pay later in a prior fintech video a year ago, when everybody thought a firm was going to go bankrupt, and a firm proved us wrong this past week and really is triggering new interest in me in this buy now, pay later trend. So let me just say a few things about buy now, pay later. I don't know if you've already used it. But anyways, the point is, I think it's a trend that is here to stay. I think buy now, pay later is here to stay. And there's multiple points for that. And this is a counter argument to the bears on say, a company like Affirm, or people who criticize Square for overpaying for Afterpay. When you look at the transaction, they paid in stock, and both stocks were highly valued, so they technically didn't overpay because we saw what happened to Affirm's stock price after the crash. But anyways, there's a lot of people that say, oh, it's a scam. It's not here to say buy now, pay later. It's triggering the wrong incentives, among buyers of goods, etc. But I just want to say a few things. One of them is that Gen Z hate credit card with a passion. They can't stand them. And many older people also do not like credit cards. There is really only the ecosystem of savvy, savvy credit card users on YouTube Finance and on the FinTweet that use these credit cards to our advantage for travel credit, etc. But what you find is that when you go into the real world and get out of FinTweets, you realize that most people actually do a pretty poor job using credit cards, which is why I believe BNPL has seen such great adoption in 2020 and 2021 and before, and it is still growing today in 2023, as we saw from Affirm's call. Affirm grew 40% year over year, so that's pretty impressive. People find issues with BNPL, and they really prefer to see their fees in dollars instead of seeing interest rate. They see a dollar amount and they think it's more transparent, it's more visible, and they also like that, just like repaying a car loan or a mortgage, really these BNPL systems give you a repayment plan, like a car loan or a mortgage, right? Not like a revolving credit. Revolving credit is perhaps very familiar to all of us because we study companies and we know how companies borrow money and how the debt matures and needs to be rolled over. This is all very familiar to us. But to the average person who's probably used to paying off principal, the idea of repayment plan that you have in BNPL, which you don't have in credit cards, is very appealing because BNPL, whatever minimum payment the system asks you, that minimum payment will get you out of debt in 4, 6, or 12 installments, depending on what you use. Revolving credit is unclear to many buyers, in my view. Billing cycles, promo APR, regular APR, penalty APR. Sometimes you have credit cards with APR on certain products different from APR to other products. It's a mess. It's a mess, and people sometimes, you see a Gen Z, they just want to buy $120 worth of clothes. And they want to pay it across 8 paychecks or 6 paychecks, right? They want something easy. They don't want a store credit card that is complicated and that is going to tack on a whole bunch of fees and penalties. And I make the assumption, of course, that the idea of consuming today and paying later, that's going to stay. Americans have always loved credit cards. And before credit cards was store credit. You would go to an establishment, a bar or whatever, it would do you credit and you would drink on credit. This has always been the love of many people, and so that's going to continue. But I just think BNPL is going to take over a lot of that credit card business that has gotten a bad reputation. BNPL is going to take over because it's providing a solution that people are happy with. People want to consume now and pay later. We can frown upon that practice, but it is a long-standing human nature. And BNPL has found a way to do it in a much more transparent way. So this is why I believe PayPal may have a shot here, because as you'll see, PayPal has a lot going for it. So first of all, quickly about Affirm, we saw Affirm stock price rise up quite a bit. Great outlook as far as the use of buy now and pay later. And Affirm is, of course, the first mover in the space, the leader in the space. So I think this bodes well for other companies in the space that offer competing solutions in BNPL to Affirm. PayPal offers one of them, right? If you look at Affirm grew sales 37% year over year. Merchandise volume also grew quite a bit. So this is encouraging. Now, PayPal has a similar product, and frankly, these products all look pretty similar. Whether you look at Afterpay, or you look at PayPal, or you look at Affirm, to the eyes of the buyer, these products look very similar. I am well aware of Affirm's backend, and Affirm's backend is quite a bit better than a lot of these BNPL copycats. I'm well aware on that other side of Affirm about how they're able to micro monetize each debt. Affirm as a very strong underlying mechanism. But if you look at a company like PayPal, PayPal owns its own payment rails, right? So they don't have to go through Visa or MasterCard for any of these. They own their own payment rails. And they've been pretty agile in implementing this, paying for interest-free with PayPal. If you look at this, most buyers who have used PayPal likely see on most websites, I've seen it on most websites that offer PayPal Pay in 4 or PayPal Pay monthly. So I think this is going to be a pretty appealing offer to a lot of people to use PayPal, especially to merchants. And let me show you why. So, in order to accept all form of online payments using PayPal, including Pay Later, including what I just saw here, Pay Later, Pay in 4, it's called Pay Later, including Pay Later, that costs 3.49% to the merchant plus 0.49. So quite steep. These payment systems are very, very steep. I mean, for me who's been into Bitcoin for a very long time, that's always shocking to see these numbers. That's just the way it is. So a pretty steep amount. But when you consider that 3.49% includes the pay later possibility, then it may be a small price to pay, knowing that we know that these buy now, pay later system can increase your sales at checkout by a matter of 40%. So they can increase by a matter of 40% at checkout, which I think is a pretty big deal. You have a lot of companies that have done much better putting this system in place. The reason why I'm showing you Square, so when you go into the Square support center, and do you know how much Square's Afterpay cost? So Square's Afterpay cost, if you want to offer Afterpay, it's 6%. It's not 3.49%, it's 6%. And so the whole question is that if you have a small business that sells online, are they going to want to offer Afterpay? Or are they going to want to offer PayPal? And my guess is they're going to want to offer PayPal. It's 3.49 versus 6%. And what else? What's the rest of the competition? Well, Affirm, and of course these websites, if you want to know how much you get charged, you really need to log in and go through their whole process. And when you find out later. You don't find out right away, because if you find out right away, you might not register and do all of that. But for most merchants on a firm like small business, much smaller businesses, it's going to be 6% plus a 30% transaction fee. And of course, the bigger businesses that offer Affirm, get a better deal. But the small merchant, the small business is going to get 6%. So again, 6% at Affirm is much more expensive than 3.49% at PayPal. And as far as Klarna goes, so Klarna is the same way. You have to log in with Klarna and actually see how much they will charge you. But thank you, Adyen, for telling me how much Klarna typically charges. So Klarna typically charges 4.29% plus 30 cents. So it is, again, cheaper than PayPal. The way PayPal does it is they have a nominal transaction fee just a little tad higher. But for most transactions, PayPal is going to be cheaper. And knowing that if you listen to the call, the CEO has said that they want to be a tool to increase sales at their merchants. They want to be a partner for their merchants. And I think pushing this pay later system can really help out a company like PayPal reignite its growth. Reignite its growth. I'm not buying the stock right now, but I'm looking to get into a buy now, pay later play. I'll be analyzing a full analysis I'm planning to do in the near future and deciding which stock. But I do believe a disruption of credit cards will be brought upon credit card folks by these companies, by PayPal, Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay. Right, and even what the credit card companies have implemented with credit cards, now you can do pay over 12 months with a regular credit card. Even that you can do that. Well, it doesn't change the fact that you still have people who don't want to get credit cards, period, and you still have people who don't get to find out about these other systems that regular credit card offer because they will never sign up for one, but they will sign up for one of these systems, right? People will sign up for PayPal. They won't necessarily sign up for a store credit card in order to be able to consume today and pay later. And the last thing I wanted to say is it may be that all of these buy now, pay later platform get their share of the market, because typically when you have one website offering one buy now, pay later system, typically they will not offer another system. So PayPal, with such a captive customer base and such a better price, may be able to gain a lot of market like that, because PayPal is the only way you can pay buy now, pay in full. You can only do it with PayPal on specific given websites, especially smaller businesses. PayPal is pretty big on smaller businesses. So anyways, this was not investment advice. This was just entertainment. I'll be going back to regular videos tomorrow, but thank you for watching these quicker videos this weekend. Thank you for watching them, and have a wonderful day.